Let's finish animating the upper torso. We'll bring back our controls and we'll start with our rotate x-axis. That will help add energy to the run. So we're grabbing both our chest and back so we can add some curvature here. And remember, we're going to offset this from the center of gravity just slightly. So let's go to frame 6. We'll go to our rotate X and we'll rotate the torso back just slightly. And then we can have it rotate forward on frame 9. All right, great. So since we've animated on 6, that means we need to transfer the same value over to frame 13. Let's middle click on 13 from 6. Right click and set a key in our rotate x-axis. And now on frame 9, we'll need to transfer this value to frame 2. So middle click on frame 2, right click and choose key selected. We're now ready to move back to the graph editor. All right, so taking a look at our rotate X values, we'll go ahead and press the F key. Again, we'll turn on infinity and let's go ahead and grab the keys on frame 1. We'll also grab those same keys on 15. Let's start to adjust our values here. So we'll hold down shift and we'll start to just drag these up. And now we can go ahead and grab the out tangents and adjust the fluidity by bringing those up to smooth out our function curve. All right, so if we were to take a look at this, hiding our curves, hitting play, you can see that, all right, we're getting some really nice follow through in the torso, but we can improve this by offsetting the chest just one frame. So let's go and grab our chest control and move right back to our graph editor. We'll grab the rotate x-axis, hold down shift, and just drag this over just one frame to our right to delay the timing. And now we can work on keeping this in range. I'll set the range slider back to 1 and 15 by double clicking. And now we can go to frame 15. We'll select our F curve, middle click to create our key. We'll go to frame 1, again middle click, create a keyframe, press the W key. Let's go ahead and select this key that's out of our range on 16, delete that. We can select the keys now on 15 and on frame 1. Let's flatten their tangents and adjust our out tangents to smooth out our function curve. Great. We don't need this key on frame 2, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. And we are good to go. So if we were to take a look at this, if we were to go ahead and hide our curves and hit play, now we're getting some really nice fluidity in the upper body. Okay, great. So it's now time to work on our rotate Z direction. So just taking a look at this, I might just go in and grab the chest and the back again. And remember, for this, we need a pose on our passing positions. These are the points where the arms get thrown forward. So on frame 1, let's go to our Z-axis here, and we'll push this pose a bit more. Great. So I'm using about a value of -4 here on frame 1. Let's transfer that to 15. So we'll just middle click on 15, right click and choose key selected. And now on frame 8, we can put in the reciprocal of +4. All right, let's make sure that the body isn't moving too much. Again, we'll hide our curves. We can knock off the last frame and hit play. All right, I think that's going to work out well. Remember, we can always spend time cleaning up any discrepancies in our animation at the very end. But I think that this is going to work out well. All right, so what we can do from here is go ahead and offset the timing of the chest. Let's go back to our graph editor. We'll go to the Z-axis, select our function curve, just slide that over just one frame to our right to delay the timing. We'll keep our function curve in range. So let's go to frame 15, grab our insert key tool, middle click, create the keyframe. We'll also middle click on 1. Great. We can get rid of the key that's out of our range. So on 16, let's go ahead and delete that key. Let's select the key on frame 15 as well as the one on frame 1. We'll flatten our tangents and adjust our tangency. Great. So now that has been smoothed out. And then next, just kind of playing through this just to make sure our timing is going to work. Remember, we held the tangents on our rotate Z channel, so let's go ahead and do the same thing here. Selecting our keys, we'll right click and choose weighted tangents. From there, let's go ahead, right click again and choose free tangent weight. Let's go ahead and grab the keys on the entire function curve. Let's flatten them out. We'll grab our out tangents. We'll start to adjust them, just sliding them to add a hold. All right, great. Now you can see when we get to frame 1 here, we have a pretty sharp result. Now, even though from 1 to 2, we won't see any change in between, it's still a good idea to get into the habit of cleaning up our function curves. We don't want any sloppy work, so to adjust this, we can do a few things. We can go to frame 1, we can break our tangency, grab the out tangent, and just start to drag that in a bit more. We can now go to frame 2, do the same thing, break our tangent, take the in tangent and start to drag that in to smooth this out a bit more. Get the idea here. And then, with frame 1 still selected, we'll take the out tangent and the in tangent and adjust them, rotating them up, just to smooth that part of the animation. We can now go ahead and adjust the tangency on 15 the same way, just dragging that down. All right, great. So, just taking a look at this now, when we play this back, we should notice a really nice hold in the chest. It's going to work out very well. All right, let's finish up by going to the rotate y-axis of the chest and adding a hold here. We don't need to twist the back control at all. That's unnecessary. Any action that wouldn't be noticeable, it's not necessary to work on. We're really trying to push the actions that the viewer would notice. That doesn't mean that we should neglect animating on a few controls here and there. It really comes down to how much time you have. Now, if you find that you can add more subtle variations to certain poses to kind of polish the animation a bit more, most certainly can do so. But if you don't have the time, what we want to focus on is what is most noticeable. So here, again, animating the back, animating the twist axis would not be necessary at all. But for the chest, we most certainly want to adjust the timing. So with our function curve selected, we will choose weighted tangents, and with the key selected, we'll free our tangent weight and we'll hold our tangents for a bit longer. Again, so we have a good feeling of force and weight as the character swings his arms. Very nice. So if we were to go ahead and hide our curves and play this back, you should notice a really nice torso animation. Beautiful. Now if you feel that that's a bit too snappy, you could always go ahead and decrease the amount of movement in the y-axis. So you might just go in, again, select the same tangents, and just kind of pull that in a bit more to smooth it out. But not much. Let's play that back. Much better. All right, so that's it for this lesson. We are making wonderful progress. In the next lesson, we're going to focus on the character's head.